How are
Good
you
evening,
there?
Becky. Good evening, King. Good evening,
Welcome, everyone.
Monica.
Good evening.
Thanks, guys, for the live. Thank you, Momi. Welcome in. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, guys, for the likes. Thank you. Okay, so I was saying I don't know if I should still hold on or I can just kickstart with the topic. Then others can just meet us after. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're almost there. Let's get to 5K.
Oh, okay. We should get to 5K before we kickstart, right? All right.
Yes, that was good.
Okay. Oh, my MP is not yet. I've been playing some music in the background while waiting.
Everyone should start testing their microphone and be sure they can talk.
Exactly.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2.
You're doing well.
We can hear you. Okay, I heard your yes, we can hear you.
Ma, how are you, Ma?
Fine, thank you. How are you too?
Inex, how was your
Okay, we
day?
are almost there. How's my day? Baby girl, won't lie, it's a bit stressful. Very stressful.
Everyone
But
should
thank God.
touch the screen. Everyone should touch the screen, so that we get to 5K easily.
Okay, please, guys, let's all tap on our screen so we can get to 5K as quick as possible. My day there, very busy and taxing. It's really taxing me. As you can see, I'm a bit stressed. I'm just trying to manage myself so the stress doesn't show. And I hope it's not showing on me, please. Okay. Thank
You look like
you. Thank you,
somebody.
darling. So we are almost at
Partially,
5K.
partially.
So 4.7. Becky is showing partially, Abby. I need to ginger up.
You look like somebody managing.
You good? Oh, I'm good.
stress.
Thank you.
Very, very well.
Thank you. You said what?
So you look like someone managing her stress very well.
Thank you. That's to show that the stress is really showing. Yeah, okay, guys, we're at 5K. Thank you so much. Thank you. Where's my chest?
Yes.
All right, so welcome to today's live podcast, Generally Speaking with Hinex. Today, the topic on the table for discourse is financial independence. We have other topic requested, but I felt like we should dive into financial independence, seeing how vital this discussion, this subject matter actually is. Financial independence, regardless the economic situation of any country, is what every individual strives to attain. So, and it affects our daily life, both personally, socially, and economically. That's in regards to the economic situation of the country. So this is the reason why I decided that, okay, we should kickstart our first discussion with financial independence. Saying that financial independence is one aspect of life that evolves around a marital life, relationship. Most marriages crash due to lack of finance or poor financial management. So, and then our social lives are being affected also due to our finances. For instance, you have friends or colleagues and you want to hang out, they probably want to hang out and they'll be like, oh, can we go hang out today or this weekend? And you looking at your financial status, knowing that you are incapacitated at the time, like you cannot afford to go for extra comfort or luxury at the time. You come up with an excuse, and if you're very plain and open to them, you can just outrightly tell them, oh, at this time I'm not financially buoyant to be able to come out on this hangout. So saying all of this is one of the reasons why I decided that, okay, we'll talk and discuss about financial independence. So before I throw it open to the full house, I would like to give my mini definition of financial independence that I created. So please permit me to go through my definition. And then when the floor is open for everyone to discuss, we can then give our own definitions about it. So, but before I go to define it, what we'll be looking at in today's subject matter, we'll be looking at financial independence, what it actually means to be financially independent, and the purpose stroke aim. That is what we will learn or what it will teach us in today's edition. Also, we are going to look at the objectives. And the objectives include how we are working towards attaining financial independence. And then the approaches and knowing what financial independence actually means. If you're just joining, you're welcome. Please do not just come in and stroll out. Take a bit of your moment. You can spend up to 4 minutes with us, listening to our discussion, and if it's of interest, you can decide to stay back. But if it's not of interest, but I'm sure it will definitely be of interest for you. So welcome into our new viewers. So I'll go with the definition of what I pinned down as financial independence. Sorry, I have to scroll through my phone. Sorry, please. I noted it down. So, according to my definition, I said financial independence is an act of being financially sufficient. It means having abundant income, savings, or investments to last like a lifetime, not just a couple of weeks, days, or months. So, it's the ability to have savings, investment that will last you for a lifetime. When I say lifetime, I believe we all know what we mean by lifetime. So, for instance now, some people feel like when they have certain amounts in their accounts, they feel like, oh, they're already financially buoyant or safe. But looking how far this finance can carry you for, you will get to know that you're not actually financially independent yet. You're still stuck. Say for instance now, if I'm to lose my job today, how long do you think I'll be able to stay without getting a job that will be paying me monthly as I earn currently? So how long do you think I will survive? So this is the question I ask myself oftentimes. And most times when I look, I just be like, with the money in my account, within 1 week, if I'm given a specific date, I don't think I'll last more than a week. So this has pushed me to go deeper in trying to understand and find out ways on how to become truly financially independent, to attain that height of financial independence. So that's why I said that financial independence is an act of being financially sufficient. It means having abundant income, savings, or investment to last a lifetime without necessarily waiting to be paid by someone or your employer at the end of the month. So it is being able to attend to your needs conveniently without regrets while preparing for tomorrow. So why I say this now, looking at using Nigeria as an example, looking at most top 10 entrepreneurs or the richest men in Africa and in Nigeria, so to say. Please, moderator, you can help with bringing in those requesting to come up. Thank you. So, looking at them, we can see that they don't live based on what they earn immediately, or they don't put limits to their spendings because they already have a backup behind. I want to use the case study of Otedala when he bought about 5 Porsche cars for his children. Being able to release such amounts, you know what it means. That is him not being stingy to himself because the money is there. He knows that he's capable of funding it. So let's say some people feel like for you to be able to attain financial independence is you being stingy to yourself, not wanting to get your needs at the time, like sacrificing some of your needs just because you want to have certain amounts saved up in your bank. Financial independence is not about your savings. It's not about your savings because there's a saying we use in Nigeria. Yeah, we say, my savings, I can save this minute and the next minute I'll need it to save me. So that's not how to be financially independent or to ascertain that you are now financially independent. So like I said, financial independence is not starving. This is not starvation. It's not you starving yourself. Like you cannot afford to eat 3 square meals in a day. Or you are trying not to eat 3 square meals in a day because you're trying to have savings backed up. That's not financial independence. I'm sorry to say that if you're still in such situation, you're not yet financially independent rather. So financial independence is the inability to attend to today's need just to provide for tomorrow. That's not it. It's not the inability for you to provide today's needs so you can get it tomorrow. Just like what I said, like saving up and starving yourself or not getting certain things done because you are hoping that you will need to get it in the future. Financial independence, when you attain the height of independence financially, you are able to afford whatever you want at the time and anytime you need it. So, like I said earlier on, it's not being stingy to yourself, like starving yourself or lacking the ability to be compassionate and do good to others. I will go back to the philanthropies we have in Nigeria. Like when you see most rich men, most financially independent men and women in Nigeria are philanthropists. And I don't know if it's same way in other countries. You see them at one time or the other trying to do charity works, giving out and helping, giving out scholarship. So when you are able to attain financial independence, you will not be stingy to yourself or either to others. You do harms, you give, you do goodwill, you run awards, scholarship, just to help people. You become more of a philanthropist because you already have this wealth stored and it's there for you to give out and to build and create more wealthy and financial independent persons like you. So, with this definition of mine, I want to go further to highlight steps on attaining financial independence. So, a lot of people today either borrow to survive. Do you get it? So, they borrow to survive. Like today, if maybe your payday is 22nd of every month, before the 1st of the next month, you are financially exhausted. There's no backup somewhere. and all you need to do now is to go looking for harms or lending from either friends or microfinance banks and other shark loan banks. We call them shark loans, yeah. Because at the end of the day, when you want to pay back these loans, you see that the interest rate is really high and draining. You find out that you do not have anything left after paying. So I will want to pinpoint that financial independence will be able, when we attain these heights, we'll be able to live within our own means and also have in return to give out and assist. So some people, they cannot do certain things. They cannot get certain things for themselves until they get paid by their employers or people they render services to. So what I'm trying to push out there is a situation whereby even before you get paid for services rendered or for the job being done, you have backup, you have investments, you have a reserve where you can always go to, and you don't have to start running from one bank to the other, seeking for loans or calling friends, asking for favor and assistance. Please, I hope my network, I'm still very much visible and you can hear me. Please, if you can hear me, let me know because my network signal here.
We hear you. Well, I hear you. But you are
Okay, thank you so much.
I thought you was.
Sorry? Okay, you can hear me. All right, thank you so much. So, as I was saying, how we can attain financial independence. So, I said a lot of people today either borrow or survive or wait on a paycheck from their employer before any financial decision or action is taken over their well-being and their family. So, for us not to find ourselves in this position, what we need to do, the approaches, what we need to do to be able to be financially independent or not to find ourselves in this position of lack time to time, we need to dive into multiple streams of income. Like working towards having multiple streams of income, investments, and not just savings. Like I said, our savings are just there. You're saving, you could be saving for a specific goal. You could be saving towards achieving something. You could be saving towards getting a new house, a car, or something of luxury, or something you find important. Savings is quite different from investments. I don't know if we know this. So that's why I say for us to be able to attain financial independence, one, we need to work towards having multiple streams of incomes and then work towards having investments and not just savings. I'm not saying we shouldn't have savings. Savings is good as well, but we should work towards investments and not just savings alone. Also, I also noted that we should make conscious efforts to avoid debts. Like when I say making conscious effort to avoid debt, that is prioritizing our needs and not our wants. Like our needs are different from our wants. At this time, when you have foodstuff at home, like you can actually make food from this. At this time, you have your needs sorted out as regard food. So your cravings of not wanting to eat what you have at the time is now a want. It's not necessarily a need for you at the time because you have something that you can actually put to your stomach and you'll be satisfied. But you're actually probably craving for something else because at the time your lungs or your taste buds want something else. So for us to be able to attain this or to achieve financial independence, we have to discipline ourselves by prioritizing our needs over our wants. So, with this, I don't know if any of us have anything to say in regards the definition I've given so far and the steps which I believe we can use in attaining financial independence. So if you do, you can actually just signify either by turning on your microphone to speak with us, or you can comment in the comment section. My eyes are on the comment section now. Welcome, Chinwe. Okay, if we don't have any, I can join. Okay. Oh, someone is requesting. We can just let them in. Okay, Rosie, your mic is turned on. Do you want to say something?
I just wanted to say that you are doing very well.
Thank you.
Your definition is straight to the point, even though it's broad, but it's straight to the point and it's very explanatory. So good job.
Okay, so
Please
when it
mute
is
me.
broad,
Like you
yes,
covered
I'm
almost
with you, Rosie.
everything. That's what I mean.
Okay, okay.
I
So
also
with the
I wanted
definition,
to ask a question.
okay, please go
Like
Sorry,
ahead,
a
my
Mr.
question.
network too
Julius.
is bad though. Try.
I forgot to turn on my now I'm feeling very hot. Yes, please, we can go on. You can go on, Mr. Julius.
Oh, okay. Like because like I was trying to look at financial independence in relationship with these two other words, rich, being wealthy, and then financial independence. So, like, what's the relationship between wealth, or the difference? Let me say the difference between being wealthy and being financially independent, and also being rich. Is there a distinction, or these are synonymous? These are words that have the same meaning.
Okay. I'll say this as synonymous because you cannot be rich, really rich. If you say you're rich, you cannot be rich without being financially independent. Like if you look at most people will classify as being rich. If you look deep down and search, you will discover that they don't just have one source of income. For you to attain financial independence, you mustn't dwell on one source of income, because if one source of income gets blocked, there are other means where you can still get inflow, where you can still get money flowing in for you. So this is where you can definitely or can now boldly say that you have attained financial independence. So when you say wealthy and financial independence, if there are differences, I would say they are synonymous. There's no difference, because I cannot classify you as a wealthy person if you're not truly financially independent. What makes you wealthy is financial independence. That's how you can classify one to be wealthy. A wealthy person is
Okay,
one who
I get that.
is rich in so many ways. Okay? Yes, please. You can go
Yes,
ahead. You can
yes,
go
I
on.
get, I get your point. Then I would also want you to give more light when you, for example, if a person is wealthy, it means that a person has assets. There are some people who have assets that, of course, they have different assets that bring in money, okay, which money can sustain them for a very long period of time. For example, like 40 years or even 100 years, you know. But now that money is not a lot, but is constantly coming in. So, which means it can sustain their family for like two generations or even beyond. Okay, but it's not a lot of money. For example, like you said, there is a person who bought cars for his children. That means that person had enough money, but there are people who have a certain amount of money that is coming on a monthly basis because they have built some assets that bring in that money, but that money is not a lot. For example, they cannot buy cars for their loved ones, but at least they can sustain them for a long period. Do you classify those people as financially independent, or what's your view about that?
Okay. I will classify them as being financially independent because they already have a source, which in money comes in, and it's not just one source, like you mentioned. Or did you say it's one source? Did you
Sorry?
say their asset is just one,
No, like
like
I
their
said,
source
it could
of
be.
income?
Yes, yes. I said there could be many sources of income, but when the money coming from those sources might not be enough to sustain all their needs, but it's constantly coming every month. So at least they cannot starve because the money will continue coming from the assets that has been established, but it's not enough for them to buy whatever they want. You get it? For example, that person cannot buy cars for their children, for their wives, but these basic things they can take care of them. So, do you think such people are also financially independent, or what's your view about? Are you getting my question? You're getting my point.
Yes, I would. Yes, I get your question. Yes, I get your point now. Yes, I will classify them as being financially independent because, like I said, what makes you financially independent is being able to afford you starving.
Okay.
That's not you being stingy to yourself.
Okay.
Like, not you starving. You can actually afford it. Okay,
Yes.
the example that I gave for a man, a billionaire, is classified as one of the richest men in Africa. So, and the top 3 billionaires here in Nigeria. He bought a specific brand of cars, which doesn't come cheap. That is why I use the car as an example. For him to be able to afford those cars at once, you can imagine the level of financial independence he has attained. I don't know if you get me.
Yes.
Mr. Julius, okay. So, as regards to your question, you asking if one has an asset that brings in money and that can last them for, let's say, up to 400 years, you say? Was that what you
Yes.
said?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. For you to have an
Yes.
asset
That's
that
what I
can
said. It
last
can
you
take them for a longer period of time.
for a longer period of time, that's you. You are actually financially
Are you hearing?
independent, and you
Yes.
are wealthy. What I see here is that you are
Okay. That's
only trying
great.
to be stingy to yourself because you feel like if you take more out of the reserve you already have, you will not be able to manage this asset or wealth continuously until the next 400 years. So why are you bothered about the next 400 years yet when you can actually live comfortably at the time? Okay, certain things like private jet, etc., right? Yes. So, like for someone who is financially independent and wealthy at the same time, are those who know that they can take these amounts they can be able to afford these things like a private jet, and yet they will not be shaken because they know that even in the next 400 years, they can still afford that. So, there was this time we were having a discussion in my
Yes.
office,
Yes. Yes.
and we had to give an example of a mobile phone. And we're like, if you get this mobile phone now, and let's say it's stolen or you misplaced it, can you be able to afford that mobile phone almost immediately again? Then, if you cannot afford it, you are not, as in, you are not due, or you shouldn't be using such mobile phone yet. That was one of the disposition of my colleague. It was saying that if you can buy a phone worth 1,500,000 naira Nigeria currency at this time, and the phone is being stolen or misplaced, and you cannot get it immediately, then that phone, you shouldn't be getting it in the first place. I don't know, going furthermore with the arguments and all, I kind of understood where it was coming from, because at the time, it felt like it wasn't a necessity. Do you get? You bought that either to impress or just because you want to feel among at the time. You want to fulfill your wants and not your needs. Do you get? So I feel like when one is truly financial independent, that's when you are able to afford something again and again without blinking, without having the effect of going bankrupt. So that's why I use the billionaire buying 5 Porsche cars at the same time. You know what that is. You know what that will do to his account balance at the time. So for him to be able to have afford that, it means he has more, and there are more from where it came from. So when you ask about being financially independent and being wealthy, if it's the same thing, I would say for me to classify myself or to call myself a wealthy person is when I'm truly and honestly financially dependent. When I can actually carry the responsibilities and I won't be shaking. Right? When I can actually run scholarship, become a philanthropist, help, lend a helping hand to others. And I won't feel bothered or feel entitled. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. Mr. Julius.
Yes.
Mr. Julius.
Yes, I'm getting you. I'm getting the point.
So because in my definition, I said that it's a lot of... I'm getting the point? Is that what you said? Or I'm not getting the point? Hello, Mr. Julius. Okay. So
yes.
that means I'm on track then, because in my definition, I said financial independence is an act of being financially sufficient. So for anyone to be classified as a wealthy person, I think that person is financially sufficient already. It's not you just being able to afford something at a
Alex,
go, and if eventually you lose it, you can't get it again. Okay, got a question though. Sorry, Alex. Okay, please ask your question. You can unmute and ask your question since you're on the box. Alex,
hello.
You can unmute and ask your question.
Good evening.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
please.
Can you hear me?
Good evening.
Okay, I might have 2 questions.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I might have... Okay, beautiful. I might have 2 questions actually. The first one, I would like to ask.
I cannot.
So the first question I'd like to ask is, you gave the example of somebody who is wealthy and can afford 5 cars at a time and not feel the effect of or the cost of buying those 5 cars, right? So then potentially I give you then
The brand.
yeah. So then I give you a scenario. I give you another scenario. Say in a less developed environment, for example, say a suburb, perhaps, say like a suburb, and you see somebody who may not be as wealthy as the guy who afforded those 5 cars, right? But you see, this guy is like the mover and shaker in the community. Perhaps, he is able to. It might not be as wealthy or as wealthy as somebody who stays in the city, perhaps, who can afford to drive a car. But this person, he has a certain level of stability, right? He takes care of things in the community. He eats well every day.
He has a
His
certain
children
what?
go to good school. Level of stability, financial stability, right? So his children can go to school.
Okay.
He takes care of things
Okay.
in his compound. He pays for stuff. He sends other people's children to school. You know, so he takes care of community affairs. You know, people look at him like one of the men in this community, right? But this man might not be as wealthy as potentially somebody who stays like in the city, perhaps, who has high amount of cost and he has to, you know. So I would like to ask, given this scenario, right? Would you consider that there's a certain range to financial independence? I mean, it might not equate to that, it might be location specific. Do you think, if you put it in that light, does that mean, do you,
Okay. I understand where you're
did I
coming from,
communicate?
and if you were here when I started, sorry. Hello,
Sorry, I'm
Alex.
listening, I'm listening.
Are you trying to say something else? Oh, yes, welcome.
No, I was asking if you heard me.
Sorry, were you saying something? Yes, I heard you. I heard you. Yes, and like what she said, I understand where you're coming from. Like, what I'm actually trying to put out there is financial independence and not wet competition. Do you get? I said that for one to say they have attained financial independence is when they don't have to wait or depend. Okay, so I can go on now. I said it's when they don't have to wait for their next salary. Like for instance, if you are an employee, do you get? So using your example cited of someone in a suburb area, like you mentioned, that is doing well for himself, can be able to take care of his needs and provide for his family, right? And also help the community. Was that what you said? Was that what you mentioned? Because I heard you said something about community, maybe doing social works.
Yeah, yeah,
Was that what you mentioned?
yeah. But it's not as rich as somebody
Okay.
who perhaps stays in the city.
Yes. Wealth is relational, especially to specific regions. Like when I started, I said I picked this topic, seeing how important it is. It affects all aspects of our life. It affects our life religiously, socially, and economically, and even in our family life, personal life. Like most of the issues we have in homes and breakups these days is due to financial issues. Churches, you see most churches, most people go into religion matters these days. They preach prosperity and wealth, all because they are also trying to attain financial independence by pushing out a narrative to those who believe in them. Do you get? Also, economically, I stated it that each region adds its own economic stability. No matter how stable an economy is, you see every individual in that country striving to attain financial independence. Let's say, for instance, now the western parts, the European parts, and the western parts, West Africa. When I say western parts, I mean US, Canada, UK, and the likes. You cannot compare their economic stability with that of our African sisters and brothers. Do you agree with me on that? Hello, Alex. Can you hear me? Can you guys?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Our networks
Okay.
are
So
doing
let's say now,
strange things.
if
But
you're
I can hear you
wealthy,
well.
if you see if you see yourself as being very wealthy here in Nigeria, by the time you relocate to another country, let's say Asian countries, or you relocate to Europe, or America, you find out that the wealth which you think you've amassed here in Nigeria that makes you feel like you're really wealthy and financially independent, when you go there, you feel like you are now among probably the lower class or medium class when it comes to being financially stable. Do you agree with me on that?
I don't agree with you
Do
on
you
that.
agree with me on that, Alex? Okay, so that's why I'm trying to like make us understand what financial independence is from my own point of view. From my own point of view, I said it's being financially sufficient. Yeah, it means you have abundant income, savings, and investment to last a lifetime, regardless of wherever you are. If you're here in Nigeria and it will take just a million naira, thank you so much. If you're here in Nigeria and it will take just a million naira for you to be financially sufficient to last you a lifetime. But when you go to either America or UK and it will take you 1 billion naira for you to be financially sufficient that will last you a lifetime, then I would advise you remain where you know that you are financially sufficient and capable of achieving certain goals without stressing, without starving. Sufficient is the important word. Yes. Sufficient is the important word. Yes. Yes, it is. It is. You might think you're really, really wealthy here in Nigeria, and you relocate to other parts and you find that you're just class. We'll discuss further because, like I said, the topic is really broad because it affects all aspects of our life. So I think, and this time we'll go deeper discussing how financial and marital affairs. So I don't know with this, if anyone has anything to chip in ways of attaining our financial independence, we can actually chip it in if we do. Broad but still very informative. Yes, please. So please, good evening, God abeg. Glitching. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Am I still glitching?
No, you're okay.
Am I still glitching? Oh, I'm stable now.
You did very well.
Okay.
So let me add a little
Thank you so much. Thank you.
all you have said. Yes, you're very, very on point.
Okay.
Financial independence. Yes, the only thing I'll add is, you see, the measure of your financial independence is actually determined by your needs. So if you are somebody that your needs is worth so much based on your needs, actually, they are your needs, so it's actually based on you, your personality, and the things you desire and want to have. So if those things are so much that you cannot afford them, then it is clearly seen that you are not financially independent. I hope somebody heard what I said.
Yes, we had.
Okay,
I
because
actually heard what you said.
the host is kind of paused from what I'm saying. So that's just my own perspective.
But
It's
do
based
you
on
do you, do you, do you think if I may add on, do you think sometimes the increase in your finances, sometimes it can also increase your desires, because sometimes we make decisions based on what we have in the pocket. The moment your income increases, the desires will definitely increase, and this is the same reason why you find that people who are married at a younger age, when they are poor, the moment the guy gets some money, usually the relationship doesn't work out because this person, when he was poor, there are some things that he was desiring on an unconscious level. There are always some things that he wanted to have, but he couldn't have it. So now when he started getting enough money, he started now going out for these other things, for the beautiful girls, to go to clubs and all those things that he missed when the money was not there. So I think the point that the financial independence depends on your desires, I think it's not as true as we may think. I think financial independence to me comes in when you have enough money and you can access anything that you want to have at that point. I don't know if I'm clear.
Yes, I got your point clearly. You see, when I mean your desire, that means as your desire increase, the main thing is that you can afford it. You can meet up to it. As far as you can meet up to it at every point in time, that's what actually makes you financially independent. Is when you want something and you cannot get it. That is when you are not.
Yes.
So if maybe, for example, now you have more money and you desire more things, let's say a car. So as far as you can comfortably get that car, that means you are
Yes.
financially independent. But in a scenario where you cannot get it, you are not. So that's why I said your desire. Truly, your desire changes with time. As you get more money, your desire changes. As you even get older, your desire changes. When you move to a different location, your desire will definitely change. So you see, there are so many factors that will change your desire and what you want. But at every point in time, if you can meet up to those desires comfortably without inconveniencing yourself in any way, that means you are still financial independence. That's just to me actually. So thank you very much.
But I think also it's also important to look at how we were brought up. For example, people who were brought up in a poor family, they will always have a lack within their unconscious. I like to use the word conscious and the subconscious mind because this is my area where I do trainings. So, like when you grow up in a poor family and you have those negative or poverty beliefs in your unconscious, you're going to realize that you will always, those behaviors, those poor beliefs, they are going to always push you into making bad decisions. But like you'll have desire or lack. But if you realize and you see these guys who grew up in a rich family, their state of mind is always not like they don't lack a lot. So their mind will not be changed by their finances. I don't know if you ever noticed this. You find that a person who grew up in a poor family, these are the people who are going to spend. If the money comes in, they are going to spend it almost 100%. This also happens to people who win lottery, for example. You win a lottery, you get a lot of money, then within a short period of time, you find yourself losing almost everything, okay? And yet it was a lot of money. Why? Because within you, you don't have that discipline for investment. Even if you try to develop it, you don't know how to do it and you don't know where. So you find yourself spending everything and going back to zero. But again, you can find a person who grew up in a rich family. They may not have a lot of money, but there is a way how they can maintain it and, invest it, make unconscious right decisions. Every decision they make is always taking them in the right direction. And that's why you can find smart kids, those ones who used to be very clever and they were the first in classes. But when we go into the outside world, you find them struggling a lot. And you find these kids that are coming from rich families, they were the dumbest kids in the school. But when they go into the world, you find them doing very well. So this comes back to our unconscious, the decision that we make on unconscious level, that sometimes they keep us down. I don't know if anyone has an idea on that.
Yes, that's very, very true. There's what my pastor always say. Keep on saying it, don't stop talking it. So as far as but before you even say it, it must be in the mind. So that is what you're talking about. So if your mind is already
Yes.
keeping you
Yes.
low, so there's no way you can be financially independent, because no matter whatever you get, your mind is already keeping you lowest. So that money you
Yes.
think you just got, you just spend it. In fact, sometimes somebody will not even know how the money went, but you just see yourself
Yeah.
getting back to that same position where you don't even have again.
Exactly.
So that's very,
Exactly.
very correct. That's very, very correct. If
Yes.
you don't discipline yourself, because it's actually discipline. Some people may come with that background, but if you don't discipline
Yes.
yourself to change it, you will remain there no matter the opportunities you have or the money that comes your way. You still find yourself going back there. So that's very, very true. I believe what you just said.
Okay. Does anyone have something else to say? Our guest is taking tea. Our host.
BK, Alex, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
You
we have
can.
two Alex.
Me on my me on my side. I think okay. There are many ways how you can achieve that. Of course, of course, by